We're talking about Zenless Zone Zero. Is it worth your time? Let's find out. Zenless Zone Zero is the most mobile game of HoYoverse's recent releases. Almost everything can be done in quick encounters. Think 15 minutes or less, whether you're diving into a story beat, a character quest, or just completing side activities. Zenless Zone Zero seems to take a bite-sized experience approach to most things it offers. This makes it perfect for both short and long gaming sessions, whether you're playing on your PS5, PC, or sneaking in a few activities on your phone between other obligations. In Zenless Zone Zero, the apocalypse struck with the appearance of expanding, dangerous bubble realms known as hollows. The space-warping zones are filled with dangerous creatures that can afflict humans with a deadly disease that may just kill them, or worse, transform them into monsters. Rather than relocate far away from these hollows, the citizens of the city New Eridu have developed tools to explore them for treasures and resources. Game's tone is incredibly goofy and lighthearted, creating a welcoming atmosphere. For instance, while roaming around a construction site, encountering a Bangu, small helper robots in New Eridu, named Cat Lovabu, lovingly watching over a cat. The interaction was filled with quirky dialogue and ended with resource rewards. This playful nature persists throughout the game, with cheeky text messages and misunderstood affection between characters reflecting the city's fun and vibrant design. Zenless Zone Zero's playable characters are divided interestingly. The protagonist siblings, Bell and Wise, are proxies, individuals who direct others in navigating the winding paths in hollows. They guide agents on their dives into these dangerous realms. The 15 currently playable agents are split among various factions often associated with their jobs, from groups like a housekeeping company to a construction company. Combat in-game is engaging and rewarding. Players build teams of 3 agents and sometimes a combat Bangu to tackle challenges. Team composition is critical, with each character having a combat specialty type and a damage affinity that need to be considered for tougher encounters. The Bangu can fill in for a damage type if needed, adding flexibility to team building. The combat itself is a ton of fun, and I appreciate that certain encounters have a regular difficulty and a hard difficulty for players looking for extra challenge. Encounters take place in dungeon-like areas that seem to be procedurally generated, and in most situations, you can't revive a character on a team once they've fallen. Engagements are flashy and fluid. Players can hack and slash their way through, but those who take time to learn attack combos and make use of the dodge counters and the chain attack will see their efforts rewarded. Plus, it's fun to learn how to optimize a team's combat. Switching characters at just the right time can lead to a special follow-up attack, and Zenless Zone Zero helps players learn this by initiating a call-out on the side of the screen. The aforementioned dodge counters award, as noted in the game, a brief moment of invulnerability and deals high damage and interrupts the target. This too is signaled well with colored flash and specific noise before an enemy attacks, making what could be perceived as complex combat rather learnable for anyone getting into more intense action games for the first time. Getting the hang of these plus executing other combos makes the combat delightfully hypnotic. The game introduces the Hollow Deep Dive system, a unique aspect of combat exploration. Rather than navigating repeating combat paths, players are pulled back to a top-down view represented through TVs on a board. This view most clearly represents the proxy's perspective of the hollows. Here, additional combat encounters can be found along with navigation puzzles and rewards on hidden paths. Some puzzles in the Hollow Deep Dive system were disappointingly easy, with one puzzle even being solved automatically. Hopefully, these were one-off instances and not indicative of the system as a whole. The potential for interesting gameplay is there, but it needs to pose a challenge to be worthwhile. Character dialogue during the Hollow Deep Dive can be awkward to follow, especially on larger screens. The dialogue boxes are relegated to the top right corner, making it easy to miss. This could be an issue for players who don't want to miss out on lore or character interactions. Despite this, the board system adds an interesting mix to Zenless Zone Zero's gameplay. Exploring New Eridu is limited as Zenless Zone Zero isn't an open-world game. Instead, players explore multiple streets connected by an in-game menu. Despite the limited space, there are plenty of activities and NPCs to interact with, adding to the city's vibrant atmosphere. An important exploration aspect of game is its in-game clock. Days are split into 4 segments: morning, afternoon, night, and late night. As the time of day changes, so do the city streets. making certain individuals unavailable at certain times. This mechanic adds a layer of strategy, as players must plan their activities around the clock. Game offers plenty of side activities like running the protagonist's video shop. This optional task involves stocking tapes based on customer preferences and hiring promoters to run the shop. Interacting with customers throughout the day adds a fun element to the game. Zenless Zone Zero offers a unique and engaging experience. With its bite-sized gameplay, vibrant atmosphere, and challenging combat, it has the potential to be a standout title from HoYoverse. Despite some minor issues, Zenless Zone Zero is definitely worth checking out. If you're a fan of HoYoverse's previous games, or just looking for a fun new game to play, Zenless Zone Zero should be on your radar. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more game reviews and content.